Go to sleep, Donald. Donald Trump was having a public meltdown at 11 p.m. last night, making post after post after Iran very publicly rejected Donald Trump's further demand that Iran surrender, give up all of its nuclear capabilities, give up control over the Strait of Hormuz. Iran responded by saying no, and we don't care if this makes you upset. You live in an alternative universe, and we are not going to even entertain your absurdity. I'll show you what Iran said in just a moment. Now, earlier in the day, Donald Trump could be seen yelling at the workers at his golf course. He was just screaming at them and then storming away. Also, we saw more footage of what Donald Trump's doing to that reflecting pool in the Washington Mall. You can see them turning it into this weird bright blue color. This has been Donald Trump's main priority in addition to the Golden Ballroom. By the way, this bright blue color, it's just going to attract more algae, and Donald Trump going over in his motorcade, the reflecting pool, is going to lead toward more cracks and leakage, but I've done a whole other video on that, so no need to do it here. So at 11 p.m. last night, Donald Trump, post after post after post, he was posting QAnon accounts, he was posting weird memes. One of the consistent themes after Iran publicly rejected his demand that Iran surrender, Trump kept on coping by posting memes of the ballroom. I mean, here's what Donald Trump was posting last night at 11 p.m. And I know corporate news is just going to be like, yeah, this is Donald Trump being Donald Trump, so why would we cover it? Because he's a maniac, because he's psychotic, because he's completely unstable, and he should be nowhere near a position of leadership anywhere, yet alone the most important position of leadership in the entire country right now, which he's destroying. So he posts this. Build the ballroom with this weird AI image of the ballroom. Then he posts this AI image. The magnificent ballroom under construction and ahead of schedule at the White House, Donald J. Trump. Then he posts this weird AI image of Mount Rushmore with Donald Trump's face on Mount Rushmore. He goes, things are moving along nicely for America's 250th birthday in July. Okay, then he posts excellent poll numbers. Thank you. Actually, you have the worst poll numbers in presidential history, worse than Nixon's at the time Nixon resigned. Then he keeps on making posts like this. Thank God for Trump. America loves Trump. Trump's the real deal. A true American badass. It's post after post after post. I could show you about 30 more of those because there was at least 30 more of those. You get the damn point, right? So what happened earlier, though, before Donald Trump's 11 p.m. meltdown? Here's what he posted after getting Iran's response to Donald Trump's demand that Iran surrender. Why would you think Iran would surrender? Why, Donald? Because you're posting mean AI memes? Is that going to scare Iran that you're posting really naughty memes, Donald? I mean, come on, grow up. Either escalate, send more troops to do a ground invasion. You'll commit war crimes. It'll be catastrophic. You'll cause tens of thousands of our soldiers to die, or as Hegseth says, our war fighters to die needlessly in a catastrophic war. Or you have to make concessions to Iran and make a deal. Those are your two options, Donald. You saying, no, I'm going to pretend like a miracle. It's all going to go away and make mean social media posts. That'll show Iran. No, you look pathetic. You look like the loser you've been your entire damn life, where you've bankrupted everything you've touched because you've been a pathetic loser your entire life. And you're demonstrating that right now. Make a damn decision. You either escalate and you go back to war, which will be catastrophic, or you make a deal with Iran, which will also be probably bad for the long-term interests of the United States, but you lost right now. So make the decision and stop being the weak, pathetic, damn loser you've been your entire life, or step aside and let somebody else be a leader, because you've never been a leader your whole life. You've always been someone who destroys, who trolls, who blames, who ignores with your privilege, and it's disgusting, and we're seeing it on full display right now. Shame on you and your pathetic, disgusting regime. Then Donald Trump posts this. I've just read the response from Iran's so-called representatives. I don't like it. Totally unacceptable. Thank you for your attention to this matter. I'm Donald Trump. What is that? What does it even mean? And then earlier he wrote, Iran has been playing games with the United States and the rest of the world for 47 years. Delay, and then finally hit pay dirt when Barack Hussein Obama became president. He was not only good to them, he was great, actually going to their side, jettisoning Israel and all other allies and giving Iran a major and very powerful new lease on life. Hundreds of billions of dollars and $1.7 billion in green cash flown into Tehran was handed to them on a silver platter. Every bank in D.C., Virginia, and Maryland were emptied out. It was so much money that when it arrived, the Iranian thugs had no idea what to do with it. They had never seen money like this, never will again. It was taken off a plane in suitcases and satchels, and the Iranians couldn't believe their luck. They finally found the greatest sucker of them all in the form of a weak, stupid American president. He was a disaster as our leader, but not as bad as sleepy Joe Biden. For 47 years, the Iranians have been tapping us along, keeping us waiting, killing our people with their roadside bombs, destroying protests, and recently wiping out 42,000 innocent unarmed protesters and laughing at our now great country. They will be laughing no longer. They will be laughing no longer. Oh, Donald Trump, you sound like the bad guy in some corny Captain Planet cartoon. No, you'll be laughing no longer. Ha ha ha. Guess what? They now control the Strait of Hormuz because you're a loser. And they now control that. They control the cables underneath. And what are you doing? You're making social media posts, threatening and then making fake deals, threatening and making fake deals. Here was Iran's response, just so we can all see what Iran said. Iran said, "We just saw the reaction of the so-called president of the United States to Iran's response. It doesn't matter at all. No one in Iran drafts plans to please Trump. The negotiating team should only draft plans for the rights of the Iranian nation. And if Trump is not satisfied with it, that is naturally better. Trump generally does not like reality. That is why he keeps losing to Iran. Iran rejects Donald Trump's demand of surrender. And here's what Iran says. First, we'll deal with this in the first 30 days. End the U.S. blockade, freedom to export Iranian oil, lift all U.S. sanctions against Iran, release frozen Iranian assets. Iran controls the Strait of Hormuz. Lebanon ceasefire is always a red line. Does this sound familiar? Iran has been consistent with this since March, early March, when Donald Trump went down this path. Donald Trump agreed to that framework, and now Donald Trump can claim he didn't, but Trump agreed to that framework. So what does Donald Trump do? He rushes to meet with Netanyahu. Trump and Netanyahu hold an emergency meeting where Netanyahu provides coordinates to Donald Trump about where to bomb in Iran. Netanyahu goes on American state regime media, CBS, which used to be a very proud media institution. Now it's run by Barry Weiss, and now it's a state regime media outlet. They still have some good reporters there, but by and large, they're regime media. They platform Netanyahu, and then Netanyahu says, it's not over because there's nuclear material. You go in and you take it out. This war is not over, and I'm speaking with Donald, and I'm telling him this war is not over. Okay. Donald Trump said he spoke with Netanyahu on Sunday night. Very nice call. We have a good relationship, but that's my situation, not everybody else's. Trump acknowledged that apparently not everybody else has a good relationship with Netanyahu, but Trump wants to let everybody know he's got a good relationship with Netanyahu as Israel submits a plan to the U.S. to have another, what they say will be a 2-week war. That's all it will last. Here is your assassination list. And that's what they spoke to today during this urgent call. Israel gave Trump the assassination list and said, 2 weeks, Donald. This is only going to take 2 weeks. We'll obliterate them together. We will obliterate them together. Yeah, you'll cause a global depression. I'll do another video on this in about 90 minutes. But Prince Turki Al Faisal, who's basically the number 2 person in Saudi Arabia, he's so he wrote an op-ed in Arab News that basically said, look, the plan from the U.S. and Israel in this war in Iran was to attack Iran, invade Iran, then have Iran hit the neighbors, which Iran did. But then what Netanyahu thought was going to happen, according to Prince Turki Al Faisal, the Prince of Saudi Arabia, Al Faisal, is they thought that Saudi Arabia would then attack Iran and that the other Middle East countries would attack Iran. Then they'd all destroy each other's desalination facilities and they would literally die of thirst. They would die. They would not have enough water and they would blow each other up. And then Israel would remain the strong, standing lone survivor as all the Middle East blew each other up. That would basically be a massive global war in the Middle East, with all the countries fighting all. Saudi would fight UAE. They'd both be fighting Iran. This would be fighting this. And Prince Al Faisal was like, yeah, we knew that was Netanyahu's plan. That's why we showed restraint. The fact that the number 2 in Saudi Arabia is saying that is a big deal. I'll talk about that in the next video also. Lindsey Graham, warmonger Lindsey Graham, who goes to Disney and plays with bubbles, and TMZ caught it on tape, says, I appreciate Trump's earnest efforts to have a diplomatic solution to change the behavior of the Iranian terrorist regime. However, between their constant attacks on international shipping, the persistent attacks on our Middle East allies, and now totally unacceptable response to America's diplomatic proposal, it is my view time to consider changing course. Project Freedom Plus sounds pretty good right about now. Project Freedom Plus? Dude, what was even Project Freedom? Something you did for 12 hours? I mean, what stupid gimmick is it? I mean, Project Freedom was like Trump phone, Trump steak, Trump water, Trump plane, Project Freedom. What are we talking about here? You announced the thing and then you said, we're done with Project Freedom. We're done with Epic Fury. I mean, folks, I don't even know how the United States is put through such a humiliation ritual. I mean, what are we talking about here? You want to know how people are doing here at home in the United States? Listen to what Costco just said. Costco spots a recession before economists do. As this account, Thyri RV explains, when members shift from beef to chicken, then to canned tuna, something in the economy is bending. You don't need a model. You need a checkout counter and millions of members with long memories. So the CFO of Costco just said this. And by the way, not just in this current recession or concern for recession, historically, we've always seen some, like within fresh protein, we've always seen when there's a recession, whether it was 99 or 2000 or 09, 08, 09, 2010, we would see some sales penetration shift from beef to poultry and pork. We have seen some of that now. I think anecdotally, I heard a few months ago from our head of food and sundries buyer that we saw some switch to even canned products like canned chicken and canned tuna and things like that. But we don't need to hear from Costco. We just need to hear from people. Just listen to what people are saying. Stop with all of these political pundits who want to talk about this, that. Listen to what the people are actually saying. Shut up for a moment and stop listening to yourself talk and listen to what the people are saying. The people in the United States are saying it feels like they are in a Great Depression right now, or at best a Great Recession. They feel that way. You political pundits and fancy economists, you call it a K-shaped economy. That's your euphemism. The rich get richer and the poor suffer. Well, most of America is the K that's going downward, okay? And they feel what they're telling University of Michigan in the latest consumer sentiment poll, that it is the worst consumers have ever felt in history of the poll. That's what they're feeling right now, while y'all are out there warmongering and behaving like absolute maniacs. So you have Donald Trump giving a deranged interview where he tells the interview, "Oh, we're close. This is part of the market manipulation. We're close, everybody. We're close." I mean, this is COVID all over again. In the summer, it's going to be sunny, and that's going to get rid of the COVID, and then this, and don't worry, the stock market's doing good. It's the same crap. He's got one move: con, lie, fraud, scam, steal, thief. This is what he says on this right-wing podcast. Let's play it.
Where are we in the war if we've not yet gotten the nuclear materials, the enriched uranium from them?
Well, we'll get that at some point, whatever we want. We have it surveilled. I did a thing called Space Force, and they are watching that if somebody walked in, they can tell you his name, his address, the number of his badge. No, we have that very well surveilled. If anybody get near the place, we will know about it, and we'll blow them up. We'll blow them up.
And then Mark Levin from State Regime Meeting. Donald, you gotta go and invade. You and Netanyahu. Here's Mark Levin. Let's play it.
No matter what President Trump does, he will be attacked by the Democrats, the media, the isolationists for his heroic actions against the Iranian regime. So I would ignore the Democrats and the media and the isolationists. They want failure. They will define success for them as our failure as a nation because they are driven by a deranged mentality about politics and exploitation for power. They are fundamentally power hungry. We've come so far. We've made such incredible progress. Victory is in sight, in my view.
There you have it, folks. Let me know what you think. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 7 million. Thanks so much for watching. Hit subscribe.
Love this video? Support independent media and unlock exclusive content, ad-free videos, and custom emojis by becoming a paid member of our YouTube channel today. You can also gift memberships to others. Let's keep growing together.